Hey guys, this is gonna be the first episode there we are gonna go to keyframing, and in this episode we are gonna make this. Today we're just gonna go through keyframing after a reference in Cascadeur using various of the tools that are there, and in the next episode we're gonna try to make it loop. Okay, let's go. So if you never have added a reference before, it's pretty straightforward. Import, and then you take reference video, and then just choose the file. So I downloaded a file which will be in the description. And let's see, you can even get some visualization here. So let's see, yeah, somewhere around there. And import. So when you have gotten it in, just place it where you want it. So I like to have it a little bit in the back, somewhere like this, so I can view it at the same time as I'm animating, and then I'm scaling it up. And to make it simple, and so I don't actually accidentally animate it, I usually need to select it. So this is the mesh object, so let's just name it correctly. Reference video, like this. And then what I do is I also press the plus key on add track while it's selected, and then just hit OK. Then we move it, drag it upon scene, so it's just down there. And then I make it unselectable. So now it won't be a problem. It will just be there. So now we can see the reference. It's a really cool animation. So let's see if we can make that. Basically, what you start out with is just following the poses. So let's just have something similar. Wide pose, straight legs. Okay, this is a bit up. Don't need that. And basically, it's just filling your way forward and using the reference as good as you can. So I think something like that, and this is a bit more backward than the other one. Then I just Shift C or Z. This time I actually have, so you can see my inputs, just so it doesn't get lost in bad translation. I don't know. Pronouncement would be more correct to say. Okay, she lean. Okay, so it's more of having the body forward and then leaning the upper body backwards, straighten it up, something like that. So let's see, and the chest should be more of this way. We are not gonna add a sword, at least not on this episode, because basically I feel it's a bit too early still. Not that it's extremely hard, but you should have some experience animating first before getting into all the technicalities of that. Now it's just about placing it approximately, and like the most important thing is that you take what you think is important and not necessarily everything needs to be here. Kind of want the shoulders to be more up. I guess this is my fault for having these too low. Something like this. Okay. Okay, I think the legs are too straight. Then we just select this one, this, and this one. And so everything gets down. Yeah. Still looks a bit weird. I think maybe a bit like this. Yeah, we can work with that. It's not the relaxed. Oh, I see. So this is actually, because I can see she's looking to the side. So if we then take the center of the mass and just rotate the whole thing, then it looks a bit more natural because we are looking sideways and standing sideways. Yeah, let's see what's happening. Okay, I want to go to this pose. Then just a new frame. And what we saw is that the right foot is still standing where it was, but the other one isn't. So basically I want to shift set these ones and the hands, because we're going to be moving the character so much. And then we move it back about this amount. Then I press R on these and lift up the foot. R is, by the way, to lock the points, and I like to do it this way because then I know they are to the floor. And this foot is then twisted and it should be having its weight on the toes. So I will rotate it against the toes. So what you do is that you double click and then right click the point that you want to be the pivot, and then you can rotate around that point. Let's see, I think you need to be this way to have some strength. Now we can select this, press R again, double click, right click, and then just rotate this as well, so we get like a balance to the body. And let's shift set those just so we can get some natural movement, and then we can start with moving the body down. Now we're gonna see how fitting it is. Since we are gonna be moving a bit backwards, I'm gonna be selecting a reference, go back to the first frame, make it selectable, and if you choose the cube, then you can select it again. And I just want to rotate it a little bit back, just like that, and then we can just lock it again. Okay, so let's see. She is really much more backwards. I feel like something like this. And of course, this is more like into the center. And we're gonna keep doing the rest. Just give me a second, and I think this one is a bit wrong as well. But then we just keep on trying to hit the references. So let's see, we have the foot. It could have been a bit more rotated, but I feel like this is gonna be nitpicking. Something like that. This knee, it seems like the whole body of hers is higher. Let's see. More length forward. Then we have this forward with a little bend. Just take it backwards and it will bend itself. So let's see. I guess that forward we're gonna be adjusting it a bit more when we see how it fits all together. And then we have both the hands that I'm hoping that, okay, something like that and something like that. That was actually a pretty cool pose. So I'm gonna just assume they are about the same length out. I want to stretch this a bit more up, and of course she has a sword, so rotating it would make sense. Just a more natural pose like this. Seems much more straight on the reference. Something like this. And a bit outward, just so the sword doesn't go in the ground. I want to keep the bend on this one. Something like this. I guess that the head should be a bit down. The eyes would still adjust themselves, so... yeah, I feel happy with this one, for now at least. So let's see. Okay, yes, that one. And I think this motion is really important. This is what's gonna sell the jump. So let's see. We just start moving those back. It's gonna be to the extent of this one having like a 20-degree. Oh, yeah. Just gonna drag up this. Like this. So I have already made a much more difficult video with a little bit cooler animation, which I'm gonna be dropping, but it's gonna be a long one, and I thought that I would make a short one like this first. Just for your intention. Also, my Patreon is going to have early access to my videos as well. But I will have it all for everyone to see as well. Yeah. But I also want to give my Patreons something for keeping up with me, basically. So let's see. Okay, I feel like the hands need to be further back, so let's try that. It's like you're trying to catch yourself. Not really, but it's kind of what it would feel like if I could imagine the situation. Okay, I see that she has straight arms, or maybe she has a bend, I don't know. But I feel like this is like the natural moment I would have gone for. So I will just wait and see. Let's see, I want this to be forward, and I pretty much want that for this as well. Just gonna be more balanced. This is like a super fast leap in my opinion, but let's go. Like, I don't want to go for this at once. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna set this to 30 FPS, and then we can follow, and then we make it 60 FPS, so it becomes a bit smoother than this. But I still want to go to somewhere around here, I think. And just try to understand the distance. Okay, so it's like actually a really far distance. So yeah, it's just to begin. And shift set on that one. Yeah, I think I will keep the hands just for the placement's sake. So shift select those, not that one, this, and this. Let's see. I think this should be it. And then let's get this upward. And then I want the shadow to see that it makes sense with like the leap. So as you can see, this foot is the one that kind of like gives the initial boost. Okay, that did work. Something like that. This one is more a bit up here. And then we just rotate a bit, remove. So I hope that my showing my input keys helps you a lot. Like I feel like some of this is like in my in my muscle memory, and I really hope that it helps. But if anything is unclear, of course, feel free to say so in the comment field, and I can adjust or make small videos just explaining smaller things that maybe be unclear. Okay, so it's like this. I think it should be like this, and she has the sword to the side. Something like this. I kind of want to tweak this one a bit as well. Really majestic kind of pose. Do I want this higher? Let's see. It's easier to take this lower than take the other one higher. I want this a bit bit back and this a bit up. Something like that. It looks dope, to be honest. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have this as the next one. We're just gonna keep on doing pretty much the same. So what I want to do here is that just to make it faster for myself, I kind of wanna, so you can press Ctrl Alt to kind of lock to one of the views. And then let's see, I'm just gonna take the upper body, it's like gonna be my gold. And then I want to Shift C this one and a bit up. And let's see, this foot is then gonna be like this. Let's rotate it as it should be. Is this the right foot, to be honest? Yeah, it is. Okay, and I feel like this should have a small bend to it. This is too much. Something like this. Still seems a lot, but I think maybe if I just see this one, yeah, that's much better. And this, of course, need to be more to this side, and then we can move this one back. Looks more natural, I think. But I actually don't think the hands are too bad. The sword would be like, it's just about the wrists. Something like that. But we can rotate it to have some movement there. Having something static isn't good for anything. Okay, let's see. That's another pose. I'm gonna wait for this one to come up there. We probably need some frames in between, but okay, so the head is kind of the rotation point. It actually is all the way. Okay, that was a neat little detail. So as you can see on her head, it seems to be like the point that she's spinning around. So that means that from this one we can just do the same. So we have the shadow on. Like, it seems pretty impossible, but like this. Then we just remove those and set the new one. And then we can take this one and right click on the head. And then we just rotate it to get the upper body aligned with how it is. Then we stretch this up and take this, shift Z on those, and then we shift Z on this one as well, and then we move it a bit up just to kind of get the form that we want and that the legs kind of make sense. You really get good at interpolating all the other axes when doing this, because you kind of have to keep guessing all the time. So yeah, something like this. I would think that the arms, do they though? Would, if they kind of like, now they are really far back. Okay, so around here they straighten a bit more up to the body. So I think I will redo that. Sorry for not thinking of that earlier, but just strike me that having them so far back would be more natural if you were trying to go backwards, but now she's kind of going around a point. Let's see, something like this, something like that. Yeah. This one is supposed to be even further down. And get like this ballerina foot. I will shift set this one again and then move it. And let's see. Then I want the contact frame. And then we select this one, right click this one, and rotate. And I want to stretch this as far as I can before I get the IK stretch. Let's see her head, does it drop? Okay, so we've been too far up in the air. So something like this, but I kind of want it to be the impact frame. So like this, and then I'm just gonna do this the other way around and see how that looks with the height, because now we kind of want the head to hit about the same place, a little bit above on this one. This could be around there, and this one would then be about there. Let's see, how is that looking? Okay, I would just see if this one matches up. Like that, and just take the shadow back. Something like this. Because now we just have to adjust this a little bit. seems like the hand has a new posture, something like this. I guess it has a little bit more of a bend. Now we want this one further forward. This. And then we can get the body further down, so we get the knee to hit the ground somewhere around there. And then move this one back. Lock these, as I said earlier. Something like this. I actually think that I want the whole body to be a bit tighter there. Something like this. Double click, right click, and rotate this one to match a bit better there. It feels better. And then we want the body to go a lot down. Something like that. Okay, let's see. So then she does a jump. So I want the frame right before she jumps. Then we select these. Something like this. And then we can choose the rotation tool to just up her body a bit. Something like this. Lock these again and move this one down to somewhere around here. And then I want the mid-air frame. Okay, so unlock these. Put it a bit in the air. And just follow the reference. Shift Z, move this like this. And now the body is rotating. And to be honest, when it comes to rotating the body like that, I would actually go over to box mode just because it's more static and easier to control. It's something that you have to think about when you do this. And I will show you it afterwards. Let's see, something like this. Then this hand forward. The hand up like this. Then we have contact already there. Let's rotate this a bit. Come on. You want it? Oh, there we go. And then we stretch this one. And then the whole body is going down from like the jumping pressure. And then we take this even further back, something around there. And I believe she... Okay, so I cut it right after that. So what about... So I think that we want him to return. To this pose, and then we have the shadow. So we just select the center of mass, we take it up to here and match the foot. Just try to match the toe placement. Or actually, I want it to be a bit further back. Then I'm gonna make a frame here. And then I'm gonna see the shadow forward. Do something like this. Then I will make the whole body. So straight out of the box with just normal interpolation, then so far we have so yeah, and that's gonna be all for this episode. So now we just done the blocking. The next step is gonna be tweaking the spacing, and then we're gonna fix the in-betweens, and then we're gonna make sure that it kind of makes some sort of logic, but we're not gonna be using the physics tool to just take over. But we could end up with making one that's realistic and one that isn't. But this is all for now. Keep subscribe, like, you know the stuff, so you can get the next episode when it comes out. And thank you for sticking to the end. Love you guys.